Losing your job is tough. So let's break down your rights when it happens in Canada.
Okay, so you've just lost your job. It's a confusing time, especially when it comes to money. So, what's next? Well, first, you need to know what payments you might be entitled to. There are two key payments to know. Most people mix them up, but you could get both. So let's look at termination pay versus severance pay. They are not the same thing. Termination pay is basically pay instead of notice. It's required everywhere if you're fired without cause. Severance pay, on the other hand, is extra compensation, but it's only a rule in certain places.
This is super important. Your rights really depend on where in Canada you work.
Let's kick things off with Ontario. It's unique because it requires both termination and severance pay. Now, to get that severance in Ontario, there are two main hoops you have to jump through.
First, you need at least 5 years with the company. Second, your employer has to be big enough. And if you check those boxes, you could get up to 26 weeks of severance. That's huge. Okay, so what about the rest of Canada? Well, things look a lot different outside of Ontario.
Provinces like Alberta and BC, they mostly just have rules for termination pay, not separate severance.
But what if you're a federal worker, like in banking? Yep, there's a whole other set of rules.
For them, severance is 2 days' pay for every single year you've worked here. But listen, this is the most important part. Everything we've talked about is just the bare minimum.
This is where something called common law kicks in, and applies pretty much everywhere but Quebec. Courts look at your age, your job, and your service to see what's truly fair. And what that means is you could be owed months of pay, not just a few weeks. So, is your offer fair? Knowing the minimum versus what you're really owed is everything.